All right, hello. This is Noah Volz, and you're watching DC to Be Revolution, where students are investing in the future of chiropractic. Today, I have the opportunity to talk to Dr. Tambay. He's a pioneer in my mind, a teacher, a storyteller, a really successful chiropractor. And so super excited that you're here. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Noah. Thanks for doing this. Good to be here.
Yeah, my pleasure. So I kind of wanted to start it off with an interesting question, something I've been experiencing personally is, what are your recommendations for chiropractic students while they're in school to make some money, to earn a living, to do things on the side? Like, do you have any recommendations for students in
Oh,
that
that's that
regard?
that that's a great question. I love that question actually, because in school, as you're learning the technical aspects of your trade, I think concurrently we should be starting to flex our entrepreneurial minds, because you're going to need that when you get out. And if you didn't think that you had to deal with that coming out, it's going to be a rude awakening. So I love that question because it's going to really help you with that. Um, just to preface, in chiropractic school, I did something. Now, I don't know if it was legal or not. So the disclaimer here is that I do not know if it's allowed to be done in your school. But what I did was, in student clinic, I don't know if you're in clinic yet, but we had to do this entire like 1 hour and a half workup on each new patient. Every single dot dotted, T crossed, X-rays marked in like 4 different techniques across the board. And I don't know how it's done now. But I really got a kick out of just drawing lines. And I was a gondroid in school, president of the Gonstead Club. So I really enjoyed just, looking at the lines and stuff. And I never could get my hands on enough of them. So one time in student clinic in the X-ray lab, I helped a buddy out with that. He had to run and do something. So I said, "Hey, dude, you know what? Let me finish it off for you. All right, and I'll put it back and I'll sign it back out, and you'll be good to go." He's like, "Dude, I'm so thrilled." So I did it for him, and then he came back the next day, and then he said, "Dude, I really appreciate you helping me out. That really helped me. I needed to get this credit in." He was upper quarter. He's about to graduate. So he's like, "Let me take you out to dinner." I was like, "Dude, I just did it as a favor. You don't have to pay me back. Just, whatever." He's like, "Dude, I got to give you something, man. Can I just give you some cash because you can't go to dinner?" I was like, "No, I'm seriously, it's okay." He's like, "Dude, you should do this for other people." Ding, 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 ding. So in school, what I did was I worked up the charts for my colleagues' um, cases, and I did all the dirty work for them, like stuff that, let's be honest, like you're not going to learn a lot by checking boxes and stuff. After you do the one or two, it's like whatever. But what it turned out to is that I became a mentor to them, and I started teaching them at that level, the little that I knew, and I was getting paid. So they used to give me like, I think like $40 a case, and I just did like 3 or 4 of them a week, and that's how I made some extra cash. It was for my peers, but it was a win-win because I was getting so much out of it as well. And they were getting so much out of it as well because I was actually mentoring them. That was my experience, and a couple of other experiences are things that I saw my colleagues doing was study guides. So these are the real people who actually pay attention in class. That's a prerequisite, and good note taking. And nowadays with all the recording stuff, I mean, when I was in school, I feel like a dinosaur. Like you really had the old school pen to paper, the tape recorders, and they were tape recorders and like reel to reel stuff. No, I'm just kidding. No, they were small. And they used to tape all the notes out, and then they used to make study guides based off of the notes. And it was great because sometimes I couldn't be either physically present, emotionally, or mentally present for every single class. But it was nice knowing like I had a colleague, a peer in my class that was taking all the notes, and he used to print them out and he used to sell each one for like $10. I was like, that's very pioneering and entrepreneurial. I loved it. And that's another one. And the last example that I have for things that I've seen done in schools that help out with that is actually visiting other chiropractic offices in the neighborhood. And I'll tell you something, docs in the field, the one thing they always would like help at a low cost that is productive is people to pound the pavement and help get the word out about their practices. Everyone was always looking for that. And hopefully we get to the call where part of the call where I can tell you how not to feel that pressure when you get out, because that pressure sucks, is I still have docs, student peers that used to go door to door to chiropractic offices. Hey, is there anything that I could do in terms of the marketing front to help you get the word out about your clinic? And I would say that was the best. I never did that. I mean, I went door to door for my own little clinic, but those guys, I look at them now and they're absolutely killing it, because the level of confrontational, their threshold for confrontation was so high that they could talk to anyone, anytime, and they developed this knack of thinking on their feet and seeing the perspective of their perspectives, and being able to connect with them very quickly and being able to build relationships. I don't know if you know, docs, whoever's or students, if you're on the line, you are in the relationship business. And if you didn't think you were in the relationship business, another rude awakening for you. This is a people business. Excuse me. You're not really in chiropractic. You're in people, and you provide chiropractic to people. But ultimately, you're in the people business, and that was probably one of the best things that I've seen. And the docs used to pay them, a couple of bucks an hour, or maybe they put them on like a profit share where, every lead that came in, I don't know how they were compensated, but they did fairly well, enough to buy drinks at the local bar that weekend. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, right. That's all that's important.
Who did this? Who has the most dough in school? Because I'm going to go to him at the bar, man, because I need him to buy me some drinks.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And thank you for bringing in all those entrepreneurial things. I think that this entrepreneurial piece of chiropractic is something that's often overlooked. We don't think of ourselves as entrepreneurs. We think of ourselves as maybe small business owners, but I feel like most people who are successful in chiropractic are really entrepreneurs and are kind of thinking outside the box and doing things differently. But I wanted to go to what you were saying about, pounding the pavement, because for myself, naturally, I love chiropractic. I'm really passionate about it, but I also struggle with communicating chiropractic effectively. And so I'd be concerned, getting out there and going door to door with people that I may not say the right things, or I may not navigate things. Do you have any suggestions in terms of communicating chiropractic as a student?
Yeah, that's another great example. Did I lose you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
My screen just went blank for a second. So, well, first of all, it's really not that hard, because we've done it all our lives, and that's talk to people. We have friends, we have family, we have people in our community, that we talk to effectively. Something happens when we graduate school that we start losing that art form, or that ability when it comes to chiropractic. And what I think is chiropractic has so much depth to it, and we're so anxious to share it, that anxiety and the passion coupled together actually leads to this type of preacher mentality that we need to evangelize our world with the glory of chiropractic. And don't get me wrong, chiropractic is absolutely it is the most glorious thing in the world. If you're listening, you are a part of the greatest healthcare profession product in the world. But when you have that passion all built up as this potential energy, and you're ready to share it, it just goes, bah! And you just do this verbal diarrhea, and then your prospects are like, what is this? Essentially, you're out of agreement right off the bat. You're talking a different language. And I mean, Noah, you've been to parties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when you're at a party and you don't know a lot of people, you don't know anyone, let's say, do you want to hang out with that guy or the girl that is espousing something that is completely outside of your belief system or your knowledge system? No. And they speak, and they're almost shouting, and you don't connect with it, so they shout even louder. I mean, do we want to cozy up to them and say, hey bro, what's up? Can I buy you a drink? Or it just doesn't work that way. How do relationships form? How are people heard? Oh wait, let's check this out. Maybe we should just have a real conversation with people. Hey Noah, how you doing? Where are you right? Oh, you're in California. So what time is that over there? That's crazy early for you. Wait, thanks for getting up and talking to me this early in the morning. Guy, I love that color blue on you because closers wear blue and everything in my office is blue too. So I'm glad that we have the same style. How about that? It's really not that hard. If you're gonna have someone listen to you, you have to listen to them. You have to listen with your eyes and your ears before you're able to ever give anything. Like the next example, I don't know if you have a girlfriend or if you're watching, if you have a boyfriend or something in between. Um, if you're having a fight or a disagreement with someone, the worst thing that you can do, especially with my wife, is not let her dump her fury on me. If I stop her and say, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, it's just going to go on forever. And we're just going to be speaking like this as opposed to like this. So what do? You say, well, tell me what's bothering you. And you listen. You let that other person dump all that crap on you. Dump it. More shit. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. Poof, poof. Oh, uppercut. Oh, that hurt. But once they're done dumping, guess what? It's your turn. Then they're more ready to accept. See, the problem in chiropractic is that the very reason why we love this profession so much is the very reason that we are disconnecting with our communities. Period.
Yeah, that actually reminded me of this book that I read recently called Being Mortal. And he says there's kind of doctors have kind of two styles. They have an authoritative style, or they're authoritarian, which is kind of what you're saying, like preaching and just getting up there on the podium and kind of saying everything. And then there's also this interpretive style. And in order to interpret what somebody is saying to you, you have to listen really well to what they're saying and then interpret it back to them. And then they hear their own words and then they're able to make decisions about their healthcare based on that. And I feel like that's somewhat of what you're saying there.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And let me tell you something. The market has changed. Back in maybe the early 2000s or even the 90s, the authoritative doctor was a role that was accepted by the mass population. It was just accepted. Oh, he's the doctor. I actually have some old timers here, like in their 80s, and they go, yes, doctor, yes, doctor. Like I have one maybe. But that's by the time you guys are out of school, the market's going to change. The market is demanding interpretive. They're demanding relationships. They're demanding so much more now that you can't get away with that anymore. And so we have to shift our focus from our agenda to their agenda. But isn't that why we got into this profession? To serve their agenda, right? We're here to serve them, and we need to make sure that we're meeting their agenda, what they want, not so much what we want. So we have a motto at Everest, and it goes something like this. And if you're writing this down, please write this down. If you're writing, is sell them what they want while educating them on what they could have. So if someone comes to your office and they have a headache and they want to get rid of their headache, guess what? You sell them what they want while educating them on what they could have. Because if you come out of the gates high-pieing with cartwheels and I don't know, and by the way, these are real things that happen in practice, okay? I'm not just making this stuff up. Or going through Stevenson's 33 principles, or whipping out your green books and just say, right off the bat, all this person wants is to get rid of their headache. And that getting rid of the headache is important to them. That's their agenda. Only when they see that you are a solution to that problem will they accept or even listen to any other thing that you have. I have patients I've seen for years. And the only reason they booth me for years is because I took the nail out of their foot, metaphorically. And now, as they progress and they evolve, now they're like, oh, so this thing called like chiropractic has a philosophy? Yeah. You know what? When I talk about that at our workshop on Tuesday nights, it's going to really give you the ins and outs of what chiropractic is really about. She's like, I'd like to know about that. See, patients will never get there until they see that you are an absolute solution to a problem. That's what they're coming with. I don't know what it's going to be like when you guys are out of school, but right now, I don't have a lot of people that say, doctor, I would love for you to show me and explain to me and philosophize with me the tenets of chiropractic. Like back in the BJ Palmer days, I really like to do that, and I'm willing to pay you for that. No. They don't do that. And by the way, chiropractic philosophy, awesome. You should learn it. You should just bathe in it. But it's for you. It's for the practitioner. It's not for the patients. Okay. And that's the biggest disconnect that I'm seeing in this profession right now, is that, and especially for at Life West, you guys love your school. I love what Brian Kelly's doing over there. I visited your school multiple times. I have colleagues in the Bay Area. You guys are doing something really cool there. But the cooler you get with that stuff, I feel like the more the odds of the disconnect between the rest of the population becomes, that chasm becomes wider. And that's really the most important thing. Don't ever lose touch of the human condition as you evolve through this, because as a chiropractor, you are you have superhuman powers. But like Superman, he could be a Clark Kent and just chill out with Lois, and say, hey, what's up, as opposed to just always flying high and just being completely and utterly unrelatable.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I was really reminded, so of course I don't practice chiropractic yet, but I practice yoga and I teach yoga. And, what I practice in my personal practice is very different than what I teach when I'm out there in the public teaching yoga classes. And so what I do for my personal practice, that's for me, like the chiropractic philosophy, like that's mine. Those are my growing edges. This is where I have an opportunity to really push my limits. But then in terms of teaching, I'm giving what most people want. I'm providing a service, a yoga class that is going to reach the most number of people. And so thank you for bringing that up. And something you said, and I really kind of want to end with this because we're running out of time, is the future of chiropractic. Like in my mind, the future of chiropractic is wrapped up in us being able to tell our story and students being able to kind of cultivate their personal brand. But I'd love to know what, either in your perfect world, what you see as the future of chiropractic, or what you think is in the pipeline 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
That's kind of a loaded question. Let me put it this way. It's in our hands. I refuse to accept that we are at the mercy of insurance companies, third-party pay, at the mercy of compliance issues, federal government. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, is that you have complete control over that. It's a headspace thing. We can easily get into this rut of saying, woe is me, I'm a victim of my circumstances, insurance sucks, it sucks. I mean, I talk to docs all day long that are in that rut. But the future of chiropractic, it really depends on how many people in this profession can embrace the fact that this is a function of how well we can build relationships with our community, period. So where does it go? I mean, I'm not going to just fluff everyone up here and say, oh, it's going to be great. Like most practice consultants, they want to just completely sell the fact that, oh, it's the best time to be a chiropractor. Yeah, I'm not going to BS you guys here. It's tough. And you know what? And the reason why it's tough is because you're going to be pulled from many different directions. But I'm telling you, I don't remember, maybe before your time of RoboCop, right? If you guys remember RoboCop, like he had 3 prime directives, and if you can live your professional life with these directives, and the number 1 directive is you are a person of the people, like in all aspects of knowing their agenda and giving them what they want. If we can do that as a profession wide and not get so caught up in our own crap, and when I say own crap, I mean within our profession. Alex Vidan, a very close friend of mine, and he's out of St. Louis. He's the chiropractor for the St. Louis Cards. You should get him on the call too, Noah, by the way. Remind me to give you his number. We shared the stage one at a state convention, and he said something I'll never forget. He's like, because he worked with dentists. He's a TMJD expert, and he works with dentists. And he said, dentists, they are expletive, like they call them MF, like really nasty people, right? He said, but he's saying that because he got in behind the ropes and saw how they just infight. They like hate each other, man. Oh, you use that technique, you're full of crap. He practiced over there. There's so much infighting in that profession. But on the outside, looking in, it looks like a unified front. Everyone's holding hands, and everyone, the dentist next door, in terms of the patient, like, yeah, he's a great guy. Dental profession is awesome. So I think that if we can establish that in our profession where our infighting is not so broadcast to the rest of the world, you know what I mean? We're going to be unified, and we need unification here. I feel like I'm from Korea, so it's like the North and South Koreans. It's like, we need unification, man. You know, we got this whole DMZ going on. We're like fighting, throwing bombs over. It's like, give me a break, man. We want to be unified because from the market perspective, we're never going to meet the market demands until we are absolutely unified as a front, okay, as an image. I get it. Behind the scenes, you do Thompson, that's a bunch of crap. Oh, you do this, whatever. You know, we can do all the fighting we want, but as soon as the cameras start rolling, like, we smile, put on our face, and say, we are chiropractic. And that's where philosophy comes in. So I can't really answer that question for you. Know, I don't know. Okay, but individually, you have control over your practice, your destiny. And there's so many great resources out there that will lead you in that right direction without raping you. Okay. And if you, and being on the call right now, obviously, Noah, you know what it takes, and keep feeding yourself all this good stuff, because eventually you'll start to find a niche where, oh, I like this style and I'm going to go there. And then once you make a decision, it's pedal to the metal. It's go big or go home and just kill it.
Awesome. Yeah, that was the perfect answer to the question. Thank you for kind of bringing that full circle. So this has been really awesome. I'd love it if you would tell the audience, you know, how to get in touch with you. What's the best place to find out about what you're doing, to keep in touch? You know, any of that would be really helpful.
Yeah, cool. I appreciate that. You can find me, you can Google me, Daniel Bay, B as in Bravo, AI, and our website is www.everestclosers.com. That's Everest is in the mountain, closers.com, and you can see about all the stuff that we're doing. We're right now starting to infiltrate some of the schools again, and as you know, students and schools are tough to work with. So once we get that rolling, we'll probably hit some schools, especially Life West.
Awesome. We look forward to seeing you here. So thank you for investing in the future of chiropractic, and thank the audience for watching this video. If you like the video, please let us know, subscribe to our channel. Also, create a conversation in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about what Daniel Bay is saying, and create this dialogue so that we can grow as a profession. So thank you.
Awesome. Well done, Noah. Thank you so much.